Hello, welcome back to Folklore Hiking Sticks Workshop. It was an extremely busy day yesterday. In fact, from about 10 o'clock to about 5 o'clock, I was working on sticks. It really does surprise me sometimes how much time disappears away to get my sticks ready to move to the next stages and onwards. I've said it before that personally, I don't see the full value back with the amount of time I put into these items, and I have, looked at ways to speed it up and looked at ways I could possibly reduce the amount of time. But I always come back to the fact that for my particular product, there's no way around it. I do have to invest the time to get what I want out of it, i.e., my finished product, which I'm happy to pass on. Yeah, so these are the five sticks I was working on. Now, to anybody else, it would seem, how come it takes that amount of time? But yeah, when you're debarking and you're sanding out and trying to get everything how you want it, time disappears. That's the five sticks in question that I did yesterday. The two on the left over here, they're all ready for a custom order for two individuals that wants custom sticks. And as you can see, they're in their raw basic form. They've been shaped and sanded. Obviously, I've got to put my tips on the end. Got to do the wood burning. Finish up on the, shall we say, the finishing process of the stick. But those two can't be counted as part of my stock because they're already accounted for, and indeed individuals have ordered those, so those are out of my stock equation. So I've got three left, so for a day's work really. As you can see, obviously it's slightly easier if you're leaving bark on a stick. This one here is a birch. But the thing is, with doing that, you still have to be careful when you're sanding to leave enough bark to provide a feature of attraction. You sand it too far past the outer layers of bark, you might as well strip it back because it holds no real appeal or attraction. It is a lot easier and faster, don't get me wrong, but like I said, you have to be a little bit more astute and careful when you're sanding back on a barked stick. Now this one here, this is a nice straight one, but as you can see, that is possibly the easiest that you can get. Like I said, a nice straight one, and the bark came off, and I basically went down through the sanding process and finishing processes on this stick and shaping the handles. I'm back over here, and this is going to be added to what we're calling the Valhalla collection, and I'm going to start wood burning Viking designs on it. Still finalising what designs I want to put on these sticks, but you can clearly see how this process works for me, and I'm in a hurry to get ready for April, which will be when basically the outdoor craft fairs and basically my selling season really starts. So as you can see, I'm contending with providing custom items, and on top of that trying to get ready for craft fairs and sales. But you could almost take this one out of the picture as well, because these will probably be sold online, and the fact of the matter is then you break it down to I've got two for my stock, and I don't want to be doing sticks every day of the week because basically I have another form of employment and I'm a family man and I've got the other stuff I want to do. So you can clearly see time does get taken away from you. Yeah, I've got a cup of tea. It's a Sunday and I'm just going to put the tips on those sticks, oil the handles and that, and then they will wait till Monday. I do have to spend some time with the family and kids, and I've indeed promised them to do that. So I will be held accountable for my actions today in that regard. Now, I'm not going to get too political. I'm not going to go ramming stuff or opinions down people's throats, but I'm going to start this little conversation off saying, it is actually a crazy world we live in, and when you see what's going on out there at the moment, you have to sit back and count the blessings that you have, and you have to sit back and think about what other people will be going through at this point in time. Even if it is, hundreds of miles away, if not thousands. Now, I'm going to say that I'm a big believer in peace and being, shall we say, able to live your life as you want. But having said that, I'm also a person who realises peace doesn't come about by just stating that you want it and believing other people will let you have it. I'm not a warmonger, but I have limited experience myself with military matters, and it was, something that took a big part of my life. So I'm going to say this and say it direct, that you have to be prepared, you have to be ready, you have to be at a point where you're willing to invest time, energy and money into means to defend yourself and others that need defending, and have the hardware available to do it. Now, like I said, I'm not trying to ram these opinions down people's throats, because I know a lot of people believe in de-armament and everything like that, which is fine. But if you look around the world now, particularly in up-and-coming regions of wealth and influence, they don't share the same ideas that you do. Now, you have to be ready to be able to project your philosophy of peace and well-being, and the fact of everybody can live their own life in a democratic way. And that does mean investing in the things that people who strongly believe in peace and all that, you can only have peace so long as you're able to protect it, and indeed protect others that want it. So basically, to round this up without getting too political today, I'm just going to say, if you believe in peace and you want it, and you don't want nothing to do with the means to be able to make that happen, that is your business, and I strongly, support that. But bear in mind, you have to have somebody in the shadows, or indeed behind you, that's able to stand up for what you believe in and have the means to do so. Now, I'm just going to say one more thing. I strongly support the people of Ukraine, and as you can see by what is coming out, and we won't know the full truth till everything is done and dusted, or at least a little while, so your analysts can work out what's happened. But I strongly suggest the Russians have felt the support, and they've definitely felt the united aspects of the Ukrainian people that have stood and fought. Be that their armed forces, Navy, Air Force, their territorials, their militias, and now it's looking like they're civilians that are picking up weapons. So you can see they had to have the means to do that. You can see where people were saying we should have gone in boots on the ground. The only consolation I will say to you, if you see how much armour their vice or one of their ex-presidents or government officials was saying the other day on the news reports when they were interviewing him, the amount of armour that has been taken out, and you can only realistically do that with anti-armour armaments like the missile systems like Javelin and things like that, which can be brought to bear by individuals on heavy armour. Now, I'm not going to go into too much of that, but I am strongly grateful my government helped send some of that armament out to Ukraine so they can defend themselves against the Russian heavy armour, which the Russians use in effect, and they've been able to be countered with those weapon systems. The only other thing I will say is that, you know, I hope all the best for the Ukrainians, and I hope, you know, peace comes to that region soon for everybody involved. But I've got to get some wood now, so that was the end of that, and, you know, my day continues here. But my thoughts and prayers are, you know, with the people fighting, suffering, and indeed the people that do want peace. Incidentally, I haven't forgotten about my longbow construction, and I will do a video on tillering the bow. But I've got it actually in a position where it is, should we say, having another couple weeks of drying after I've shaped the wood. I want to give it the best option and, shall we say, chance of producing a bow to its full potential. So I'm going to just give it another few more weeks drying, then I'll start doing the tillering. So there you can see, there it is now, and basically all I've done is put it up here, and it's just drying in a less aggressive manner. Like I said, it was up there above the heater, which gets heat whenever the kids and wife put heat on for showering and things like that. Obviously sitting up there it would get the full heat. I've, like I say, I've brought it around here. It's not getting aggressive heat, it's getting passive heat. So yeah, I'm going to just give it another week or two, and then I'll start the tillering. Heading out to get wood. It is absolutely a stunning day. Absolutely stunning. I'm going to have to, I think, chuck some grass seed down here where the winter months, and I've been walking over it, has really churned it up. But yeah, I'm going to get some wood and then get our fire. It is cold. I mean, that you can't get away from it. You know, it is still cold, but it is an absolutely stunning day out there. Absolutely stunning. And looking down over the valley, that is absolutely gorgeous. What more could you want? Yeah, just a quick chat. I was only able to get this yesterday, this bit of copper. Like I said, I'm totally out. There's quite a lot of stuff I'm out, and I actually have to go and purchase a lot this coming week. Which brings me on to the point, basically, like those sticks, the Valhalla ones I'm going to make, they're going to have an extremely large copper tip. I want it to look impressive, to match the size of the stick and the Viking artwork. So basically, even if I put, what shall I say, that's 2 inches, so we say 2.5 inches there, you can see from this bit of copper that I have, I ain't going to get too many out of that. I do have the other ones I've got to get out of it, but this would suffice for the sticks I've shown you. But, you know, the cost of raw materials and the cost of everything and the cost of producing these sticks is going up in relation to what I can command a price from the customer. Business models always say that you should always increase the cost, but I'm dealing in a product which is, how can I put it this way, recreational and an aid to people who are out hiking. Now, it gets to a point, because it's not, shall I say, a living item like bread, milk, foodstuffs, heat, electric and fuel and car maintenance and things like that. It's what you start to begin to classify as a luxury item, like nice to have. So in that vein, there's only so much I can actually pass that cost to the customer. And indeed, I bear a lot of that cost myself, or I write it off. Basically, the biggest one being my time to produce the items, which I've just discussed with you. I write a lot of that time off. I do enjoy it, and it is a hobby, and don't get me wrong, like I've stated before, this is a paid hobby and it is part of our income, or taxable income. And yet again, like I said, when I'm on the store selling and that, and you get people haggling you down for sticks, and quite often that happens, I, obviously negotiate and we come to a price and they go off happy. Sometimes I do think to myself, why did I do that? But, that's just part and parcel of this particular business, craft business that I'm in. So, yeah, I was just going to just quickly show you, basically, like I was saying, that the materials that go into the making sticks, i.e. the copper, the oils, the varnishes, the lanyards, the sanding, the products to sand, like sandpaper and that, they're all consumables. They do get used up and I have to replace them. And indeed the lighting for the workshop, me being in here, my time and everything, you can quite easily see how costs can accumulate to the point you sometimes think to yourself that you need to put the prices up. But as I've just said, being what I classify as a luxury item, you kind of have to look at the reality of the world at the moment, where we are with the world. And basically I think at this precise moment in time, I have to swallow a lot of those costs myself. But other people might say or feel different in the crafting business. But ultimately I'm looking to promote and push my products out, and I get a great deal of satisfaction knowing somebody's using something that I've made and it's out there and they're getting some enjoyment from it. Because after all, you can go and buy a takeaway, for you and your family, £25, £30, what have you. Within a few hours that's gone, and that money's been, sure, not wasted, but it's obviously no longer providing you with anything other than substance and the pleasure you just had. My hiking stick will be with you for many, many, many years, and it'll be a companion, treasured companion. And like I said, so you'll get your money back many times over. So yeah, so that's how I look at things at the moment in costs. And yeah, basically I've got to finish up making these, and like I said to you earlier, start thinking about doing some stuff with the kids. Yeah, so I'm going to put the copper tip on these Valhalla modelled sticks here and get the artwork done tomorrow when the kids are back to school. But as you can see, they're substantial pieces of wood. They're going to look really nice when they're finished and burnt on, and I will obviously show you the end results. But yeah, you can see I've got to actually start getting on with stuff. I'm doing a lot of talking at the moment. I'm going to just wrap this up now. It's just a very quick little look around what's happening in the workshop. Just wanted to let you see what was happening. And basically just say to the people of Ukraine, stay safe, stay strong. And if you are in harm's way, all the best wishes from us here at Folklore Hiking Sticks. That's my wife, myself and my kids and that. We're thinking of you. And yeah, I've got every sympathy and my thoughts are with you, and I'm hoping for for you guys to get back to peaceful life, as soon as that can be achieved. So yeah, I'm just going to wrap this up. It's Andy from Folklore Hiking Sticks. Take care.